and engage threats. And right now, SimpliSafe is offering 50% off a new system with professional monitoring. Their 60-day risk-free trial means you can experience how SimpliSafe fits into your life worry-free. Visit simplysafekim.com to claim 50% off a new system with a professional monitoring plan and get your first month free. That's simplysafekim.com. There's no safe like SimpliSafe.
Talkback is sponsored by The Clinics. With 27 providers and 3 locations, someone can see you today.
It's Talkback, Central Louisiana's longest-running talk show. Whether it's the guests or the callers, Talkback is where Central Louisiana begins its conversation.
And good morning, Central Louisiana. Welcome to Talk Back on Thursday. It's terrific Thursday with Trish and Nathan, and we're excited to be here because have we got a show for you?
That's right. And happy first day of spring.
There it is. Absolutely.
I mean, you walk out your door, it might not feel as springish as it did yesterday,
right?
But what a great day. First day of spring, first day of March Madness, all the things.
Same number of hours of daylight and dark. That's what makes the first day of spring. And so the days will start getting a little longer. We're happy about that.
Yeah.
And I asked you before the show, when do your Auburn Tigers play? And you said
today.
You were today. You're sporting the colors.
I am sporting the colors. Yep. And so we'll have the TV on at the office all day today as all of these games start. So I'm excited about all of them. There's so many of them. I mean, you've got McNeese in there now. We got to talk to Coach Cordero with Troy yesterday. Never mind the number of SEC teams that are in it. I'm a little bit excited about all of this.
That's pretty exciting.
Yeah, yesterday, poor Al, we didn't have any time to talk about it.
Yeah.
Because we kicked off the show with a guest right at 7:20, so we didn't even get our warm up. And he told me he did that on purpose, so I didn't get any Auburn.
Well, I'll make up for it today since Auburn's playing today, and I'll let you boast a little bit and brag a little bit. And any Auburn fans out there,
I'm just gonna sit back and watch. I mean, you start talking too much and things just go bad.
That's true.
And I'm just excited to be number 1 seed, and they're so fun to watch. So that's what we'll be doing.
That's exciting to have that team make that run throughout the season. They've looked great all
well, yeah, and that's the problem is, we're hoping we didn't peak too early as the last couple of games, but I think it's okay. It's okay. Sit back, take a deep breath, and just play the game.
You're also on the LSUA Foundation, if I recall, and our LSUA Generals are playing tomorrow night up in Kansas City in the round of 16 for the NAIA championship. So
it is also exciting. It is also exciting. We also had our to give some more kudos to LSUA there, we had our Giving Day yesterday. And I think the total numbers are still rolling in. Amazing response from our community, all of our community partners, and everybody that donated to Giving Day yesterday. That's incredible because, again, all the schools, we talked about that yesterday with Superintendent Powell here, that it is such a great time here in Central Louisiana in the field, in that whole arena of education, what we're doing through, the early childhood that's winning awards all the way up through high school. And then with our higher ed, all of the schools that we have here and how they work together and how they work with our community. It is absolutely amazing. And it's a game changer here for Central Louisiana. No pun intended, Nathan.
And speaking of giving, there's also something taking place this afternoon at 2:30 where the LSUA Foundation is receiving the keys to the AC Buchanan building.
We are. I will be down there, yes. And so that's the next thing that is going to be absolutely a game changer in the field of, all of our health sciences and things like that, is what that new campus is going to look like downtown when this is all said and done, and what that's going to do to downtown area too. I mean, look what CLTCC did in building their facility down there. And so the donation of that building from, Rapides, the Rapides Foundation, to the LSUA Foundation. So that key swap over is today. So
you're going to be there?
2:30, I will be there.
I will
if you want to come down and be a part of that. And something great things going on
Well, we told you we have a great show for you today. Let me just run it down for you. It's chock-a-block full. So if you want to get your call in, you better do it right now. 318-442-8255, the BOM talk line. At 7:30, we're going to be joined by Lieutenant Governor Billy Nungesser, one of our favorites, who's talking about a solid waste conference they're doing today in Lafayette. But also we'll be talking about Love the Boot Week. That's coming up, and the little Walter historical marker. So we'll be talking with him about that. At 7:50, Barry McCain will be calling in from the Ward 10 community area. They've been hosting some meetings, once a quarter or so, and he's going to have the sheriff and the DA and a lot of good folks out there with some great food at Tioga High School tonight. And then at the 8 o'clock hour, our lovely Moon Pie Queen, Ball Mayor Gail Wilking, will be calling in. They've got a little something you might have seen if you've driven through Ball, signs plastered everywhere. Moon Pie Festival's coming up this weekend. Plus, she's hosting the first ever Small Town Mayors Convention tonight and tomorrow for the Louisiana Municipal Association. So she'll be talking about that and other things related to Ball. And then at 8:30, we have Stephen Sutton, who's the public information officer for Pafford EMS, who's going to come in studio. He'll be our only in-studio guest. And he's going to be talking to us about who Pafford is. They got the recommendation from the committee, and a lot of folks don't know much about them. So give us the opportunity to get to know this company. I think they started in the 60s, a husband and wife team. The Paffords founded it. Their children run it now, from what I've been reading. But looking forward to talking to Stephen Sutton at 8:30 this morning. So we have a full show for you today. And like I say, the only open time to talk is right now.
I'm looking for a question for one of them.
That's true.
Yeah,
this
is your time. So get it in now in the next couple of minutes here. But really excited to have such a packed show because it's all great stuff. Love talking to our Lieutenant Governor. I mean, he is absolutely the best person in that role.
Yeah. He was made to be a promoter, a cheerleader.
Yes.
He doesn't have the physique, but he's
nah.
But he is definitely got the spirit. There's no doubt. Who's got spirit? Yes, he do.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does. And I love listening to him every time and getting to talk to him. And the love that he has for the state and promoting that is just terrific.
One of my favorite pictures of him is when I think Lake Charles, 7 years ago or so, when President Trump showed up to visit Louisiana, and he pulls up his pants leg and shows those socks he has on.
Right.
I think Trump loved it. He ingratiated himself to President Trump, but does such a great job of promoting all things Louisiana. And who knows what his future holds. That's not why he's calling today, but I am grateful that we have somebody who's willing to give of themselves so much to the state.
Yep, exactly. And again, I mean, this is what we're here for. This is what the show is here for. To have somebody from Pafford come in, because I know that was the question that everybody had is, who is this company? Nobody's heard of the company at all. So good to be able to hear from him, learn a little bit about the company, let our listeners know who they are.
Right. And we're going to be educated right along with the listeners.
Absolutely. So we will.
Forward to that. Today, as you mentioned, the first day of spring, the vernal equinox, which means it's exactly the same number of daylight and darkness. So we have 92 days until summer begins, but it'll be hot before 92 days are up. I can guarantee that.
Yeah. Enjoy the nice chill this morning because it's not going to last. Right. It is my favorite time, though, when you can see the azaleas are just about to pop.
That's right.
As you pass by all the yards out there, beautiful. It reminds me of the days we lived in Savannah and just covered in azaleas everywhere over there. I love them. And best time to market a home.
I'm going to take advantage of the break here, or the time, just to mention my church is having its 49th anniversary this Sunday. So we're excited about that. Got Ricky Belgard coming in to be our guest speaker, and dinner on the grounds and all that fun stuff. We have a call. We're going to go to it right now. Good morning. You're on Talkback with Trish and Nathan.
Well, good morning.
Hello there.
Have you heard the news that a Biden federal judge appointee was ordered Elon Musk to return the astronauts to the space station?
I saw that meme yesterday. That's right. I think Babylon B
I made that up.
Yeah, Babylon B.
Believe it or not, Babylon B, you need to write for them because they actually had that as one of their headlines yesterday. Yep. Great job.
No, I have to be honest. I stole it from them.
Okay. I was starting to say, if you made it up, I mean, we got the best callers. That was great.
All right.
Thank you very much for your call. 318-442-8255. Just like that, you can call in and be a part of the show this morning at any time with any of our guests. As we mentioned, Lieutenant Governor Billy Nungesser in a minute. I'm going to circle back around, though. Our church having its 49th anniversary this Sunday. It's Christian. I didn't say the name of it, so I guess I should. Christian Challenge in Pineville. I guess I could think everybody knows me. But we're at 300 Pierce Road behind the Lowe's there. And Ricky Belgard, a lot of folks know him on Facebook. He's prolific. He's a pastor in the area and a great community leader. Worked for the Rapides Parish Sheriff's Office for many years, head of their drug rehab programs. And we always have dinner on the grounds, which is fun because church people can cook.
Yeah, that's right.
And word's gotten out that I like deviled eggs.
Oh,
and
wow.
So there will maybe be a few
of those.
Yeah.
Very good.
We toyed though with renaming them because you're in church and deviled eggs.
True.
So if we were Baptist, we'd call them Baptist bullets.
How did they get that name, anyways?
I think I read that maybe it had to do with you had to boil them, so it made them hot. I don't know. I forgot. I'd read some.
There's things that you never think about, but
we were joking about. So Baptists call them Baptist bullets. Methodists call them Methodist missiles. We're non-denominational, so we call them non-denominational nom-noms. But no, I'm kidding. But that's just one of the fun things that'll be taking place this weekend. And it's an opportunity for folks to get together and kind of look back over the last 49 years. My dad started our church 49 years ago.
See, I didn't know that either.
So I grew up.
I get to learn all kinds of things today. Wow,
right.
Yeah.
So that's kind of fun.
And you'll be planning ahead for a big year next year then.
Next year, the 50 will be pretty huge.
Yeah. How exciting is that?
We are excited about that. So yesterday, Jeff Powell was in the studio here doing a great job of explaining the constitutional amendment, the impact on local. They had a school board meeting last night, proposing the return of guidance counselors to elementary, which I think is a big deal. I think the world has changed that we live in.
It has.
And the understanding that I got from the notes I saw were that there used to be guidance counselors in elementary schools, and then they went through some financial crisis 10, 15 years ago, and they asked the principals, hey, where can we make cuts? And they felt like they could do that there. We're back into a surplus side, and so that's being proposed. And I'm curious to know what people think about that. Let's go back to the phone lines. Good morning. You're on Talkback with Nathan and Trish. Hello. You're on KSYL. Hello.
Hey, it's Billy Nungesser. How you doing?
Yes, sir. We were promoting your appearance, and you have shown up just in time. Let's take the bottom of the hour break. We'll come back with you right after this.
Great, my friend.
Talkback is sponsored by The Clinics with 27 providers and 3 locations. Someone can see you today. Stick around. More of Talkback is on the way.
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. Wall Street looked headed for a lower open this morning after stocks rallied in yesterday's trading. Fed Chair Jay Powell downplayed growth concerns and the impact of President Donald Trump's trade war on inflation. Yesterday, the Dow was up 383 points. The S&P 500 gained 61. The Nasdaq rose 247 points. Powell called the inflationary effect of tariffs transitory. The Fed's forecast still shows 2 rate cuts this year. As expected yesterday, officials left interest rates steady for the second straight meeting. Tesla is recalling Cybertrucks over a safety issue it's having trouble resolving. The car maker estimates that 1% of the roughly 46,000 pickups it's calling back have the defect, according to a recall report filed with the government. The recall revolves around pieces of steel trim that could come loose. Tesla says it will foot the bill for replacing the panels, but the company said it had not yet corrected the issue in production. Gina Cervetti, Bloomberg Radio.
The value of experienced leadership cannot be overstated in the Clerk of Court's office. Progressing through the ranks, Karen Corley is the most qualified to be the next Clerk of Court for Rapides Parish.
With 37 years of service, I am dedicated to safeguarding our elections, keeping crucial evidence safe, and streamlining access to public documents both online and in person. I'd be honored to have your vote.
Let's keep what's clearly working. Karen Corley, our Clerk of Court.
Paid for by Karen Corley for Clerk of Court.
The cost of air travel is more than just the ticket price. It's also fuel, meals, lodging, parking, and time. The more we fly AEX, the better our chances of bringing back flights to Houston and Charlotte. Support AEX and help our community grow. Find your true cost at local.flyaex.org.
If you'd like to take part in the show today, call the BON Bank Talk line at 442-8255. That's 442-TALK. And remember, if you're looking to purchase or refinance your home, call Christina Bagwell at the BON Bank Mortgage Department at 448-2430.
Talk back. To take part in the show, call 442-8255. That's 442-TALK.
Welcome back to the show. Talk back on Thursday morning, and we're excited to be joined by Lieutenant Governor Billy Nungesser, who is on his way to Lafayette this morning for a conference. Good morning, Lieutenant Nungesser. How are you?
I'm doing great, my friend. How are y'all?
Doing great. We're so excited to have you come in. Before we had you on the air, Trish and I were both kind of reminiscing on some of the things that you've done, and we talked about what a great cheerleader you've been for the state of Louisiana. You may not have the physique to do the tumbles, but you've definitely got the spirit to cheer on things that are happening in Louisiana. How much do you love your job?
I do have the best job, and it's very easy when you got such passionate people around this state that not only love the state, they love what they do. They're so proud of the state. Every day they're out there promoting their fairs and festivals all over the state. So it's easy to stay encouraged, enthusiastic about this state when we have such great people that love where they live.
Well, you seem to bring that out in the people around you as well, both those who work for you and when you meet with people just seem to respond to your passion and enthusiasm. And sometimes it may be difficult to get passionate about something, but I mean, solid waste, you're going to get people fired up today at the Solid Waste Conference in Lafayette.
Well, we're going to talk trash. And I'm very passionate about cleaning up this state. I did it in Plaquemines Parish as parish president and made that parish shine. And we're going to keep our foot on the gas until we put the paradise back in Sportsman's Paradise. We've had a very dirty state. We've made a lot of progress since they moved Keep Louisiana Beautiful under my office 2 years ago. But we got a long way to go. But we're making progress.
Well, Love the Boot Week is coming up, and I know that's something that you are very passionate about, recruiting people to get involved and to get groups to register on the website and so that they can be supported by your office with tools and promotion and things like that. Last year, y'all set a new record for groups with over 700. What is the status this year?
Well, this year we're shooting for 1,000 groups. You can sign up at lovethebootweek.org. You can do it with your family, your garden club, your office, and they get you the tongs, the vest. And if you don't want to sign up on any, go to your local library and check out tongs and vests. Take your kids out and teach them why they shouldn't litter. And this is important because if you pick up litter for a day, or you get a ticket for littering, you're about 80% less likely to ever litter again. And only a little over 20% of the people actually litter, and we pay the price for it. And it's a heavy price. Last year, litter cost the state $96 million.
Wow. That's a stunning amount. And I know do you guys weigh the amount of trash that's picked up during Love the Boot Week, or how do you measure that?
Yeah, we try to get figures back from the groups if they weigh it or if they tell us how many bags of trash, how many tires. We did there is a litter expert. Okay. We brought her in and she did a complete study of the state. So we know where we're fighting litter the most, what the problems are. Securing the loads, cleaning out the back of your pickup truck is a big problem. And then making garbage cans accessible. We ask every business, put garbage cans back in your parking lot, the strip malls, the Walmarts. Cracker Barrel is the only company that has garbage cans all over their parking lot, and they empty them every day, and they clean up their parking lot. That's a big deal. Not many companies have those cans available in the parking lot.
Well, that's well said. And as we think about it, it's sometimes you find that don't even have them at the door. So getting those available, I think I remember you telling a story about, if you put a trash receptacle out, even if they miss, at least they get it close to it and it's easier to pick up. Am I remembering right?
Yeah. Well, what I did in Plaquemines Parish, we had Highway 21 was horrible. We put 20 garbage cans on an angle on every road leading to the highway. People would pull over and throw up the window. It was on an angle. Most people missed it, but 90% of the garbage that used to end up on Highway 21 was in and around those cans. And my employees all had bags, and whenever they see them, they'd clean them up. We want to put those on the exits on the interstate. I'm still working with DOTD to get permission. So before you make that circle to get up on the interstate, you can pull over and throw it out the window. It's easier to clean up in one area. And people, for the most part, if they got a place to put it and it's convenient, they'll do it.
Well, that makes it definitely easier for folks to not just dump it anywhere. I'm impressed by the efforts your office has made in putting tools in the hands of people that are out, the groups, if they'll register. What kind of resources can they get from your office?
Well, when you register, you're going to get a packet with a T-shirt, the vest, the thongs, all the things you need for your group to clean up. And that week, I will be traveling the state trying to visit as many groups as I can to thank them for their efforts. So you'll get a nice little kit with all the tools you need and a nice T-shirt for signing up. I tell you, just like in tourism and everything else, we've got passionate people. And we also, working with the governor, who has been very supportive of this effort, we're doing a thing called Leaders Against Litter. I ask every elected official to go speak in the schools. I tell the kids, you go home and tell your parents, if they litter, you're going to call the lieutenant governor. I had a few moms call the office to make sure their child wasn't lying to them. But kids love to correct their parents. Yep. So we're going to start educating the kids. So one day we won't have to be talking about trash.
That's exactly right. You start there, and then one day we won't have to talk about it. But it's so easy. I'm on your website right here. And people, the pride in your community, here's how you can show that pride is click. When you click organize an event, it doesn't mean you're organizing a whole event. It just means you've got a little team of people together, right?
Absolutely. My wife signed up where we live and where we're moving to, actually moving this week. Both of those subdivisions, we put it on their site. We've got neighbors signing up to clean up the 2 miles of interstate and all the roads leading to it in our neighborhood. And we've got 6 in one group, 12 in the other signed up so far. But you can clean up that area. And the thought is you'll get out there more than just once a year and do it. We've got seniors cleaning up areas of the state. Tiger Town at LSU, a lady is out there every Saturday cleaning up. It's her mission. But to have so many people supporting this effort, I really see light at the end of the tunnel in cleaning up our state.
Yeah, I do too. And yeah, so if your neighborhood is not on there, you can look at all of the people that are registered, all of the organizations, all the neighborhoods that are registered right there on your site. If your neighborhood's not on there, go in, put your neighborhood in, and then invite your neighbors to come and help you. And yeah, everybody starts cleaning up at home, and we will make that difference.
April 15th.
Yeah, I got to tell you,
go ahead, Lieutenant Governor.
Coca-Cola has been a great partner. They are now recycling plastic bottles and cans in 27 parishes. They've got a new machine that crushes it all together in Baton Rouge, and they have been a great partner in Keep Louisiana Beautiful, as many other companies are doing, and stepping up to the plate and getting involved and supporting our efforts.
That is huge. Thank you so much. Lieutenant Governor Billy Nungesser, can you stay with us for one more segment?
Sure.
Okay. I love the Boot Week coming up April 5th through the 13th, and we're going to come back and talk about Little Walker right after this.
KSYL. Dentures. Can't live with them, and you definitely can't live without them. But what if I told you there's a better way? Today's Dental in Pineville is here to revolutionize your smile. Say goodbye to old-fashioned adhesives and endless appointments. They've made getting implants incredibly simple, low anxiety, and affordable for everyone. Picture this: in-office IV sedation administered by a highly skilled certified nurse anesthetist, making the procedure low anxiety and stress-free. And the best part? Their multiple finance options make implants truly affordable. Don't wait. If you're ready to replace those old-timey dentures with permanent implants, call Today's Dental on Highway 28 East in Pineville at 448-4540. It's a general dental facility owned by Dr. Jonas Goche. That's 448-4540. Your perfect smile is just a call away. Today is Dental, because you deserve the best.
Did you know that 71% of all licensed real estate agents did not sell a single property in 2024? Hi, this is Trish Lala. When it's time to make the largest financial decision of your life, buying or selling a home, what's happening in the market really matters. The good news is you actually can still come out ahead if you place your trust in an agency with decades of experience handling all of those ups and downs. When experience matters, we're here for you. The Trish Lala Group.
Now back to Talk Back, 970 AM, 104.9 FM, KSYL.
Welcome back to Talk Back on Thursday. Trish and Nathan are here with you, along with Lieutenant Governor Billy Nungesser. And Lieutenant Governor, we are so excited that you're going to be in Central Louisiana later today for a special event taking place in Marksville. Tell us about it.
Yeah, I tell you, a young musician taught himself to play harmonica and died way too young. He was just an unbelievably talented musician. So many of them have come out of Louisiana to make it big, but some of them have died way too young. But as a young boy, taught himself to play the harmonica, had a hit song, Juke, in 1950. And to show what he meant to the music industry, today we'll be having Buddy Guy came in to celebrate and honor him, Bobby Rush and Kenny Neal from Baton Rouge, some of the great musicians that have learned and inspired by his music. So we have been going around the state. We recently appointed a music commission. The legislature reestablished it last year. And we're going to use that commission to highlight, to start putting those people in a Hall of Fame. And we're also going to use that to market and support our musicians, the young musicians traveling the country trying to get known and bringing a little Louisiana with them. So we use them to promote our state, and it also helps them with some grants to make their trip worthwhile, where they might not get paid a lot of money, but it gets them out, gets them known, and it also helps us promote the state.
That's phenomenal. The folks that are taking place are gathering today at 1 o'clock in Marksville, Louisiana. And for those, people may not really know every name that's there, but our listeners are going to know that Wilbert Carmouche is going to be there, because he's the Walls Parish Commission of Tourism representative that comes here to KSYL every month, and he's pretty amazing fella. So we know you got a lot of great people gathering together to honor Marion Walter Jacobs, better known as Little Walter. And what you're doing, you've done a tremendous amount of historical markers around the state, whether it's with the Civil Rights Trail or music, and that's got to be such an enjoyable part of your job.
It really is. When we started in the Rose Parade, one of the things I said, we won't do it unless we can bring a Louisiana musician. The first year we had the American Idol winner, Lane Hardy. And then, of course, 2 years ago, we had, what's her name? The superstar, Lainey Wilson.
Yeah.
And she stole the show. This year, we're hoping to have an announcement soon with another Louisiana musician, to give them the airtime and to promote Louisiana on that float is just a great opportunity. Lainey Wilson, I don't take credit for it, but after she rode on that float, her career took off.
Take the credit.
It had a lot to do with her talent and being on Yellowstone. But we just want to highlight those great Louisiana ambassadors every year on that float. To bring great publicity to Louisiana, but also give them the exposure they need to really get known.
Well, we appreciate you taking the time today to talk with us about all the things that are taking place. The Little Walter Historical Marker unveiling will be at 1 o'clock today at on the corner of Benjamin Drive and Leviege Street. So 1013 Benjamin Drive, if folks want to put that in their GPS, and you'll get to see Lieutenant Governor Billy Nungesser, along with some of his closest friends and supporters of music in Central Louisiana and Louisiana in general. So thank you. I know you got a busy day. You're probably just about in Lafayette, going to speak at that Solid Waste Conference and promoting Love the Boot Week, which is April the 5th through the 13th, if my dates are right. And again, all that can be accessed through your office. KeepLouisianaBeautiful.org is kind of how you're promoting the Love the Boot Week and all things taking place in cleanup, right?
So lovethebootweek.org. Sign up and help us clean up Louisiana.
Wonderful. We appreciate Lieutenant Governor Billy Nungesser for taking the time to be with us this morning. And every time you come to Central Louisiana, we just appreciate you so much for the way you are passionate about promoting this beautiful sportsman paradise that we call home.
Thank you, my friend. It's good being with you.
Thank you very much. Lieutenant Governor Billy Nungesser will go out with a quick song from their website. Take a listen to Mark Broussard.
You're rolling with your crew. I'm floating down the bayou. You can do something great to help our beautiful state. Love and don't pollute. When you're in the parade, eating snowballs in the shade. You can do it as a team. Keep our Louisiana clean. And don't pollute. Love, and don't pollute. Let's keep our Louisiana.
Talkback is sponsored by The Clinics with 27 providers and 3 locations. Someone can see you today. Stick around. More of Talkback is on the way.
Hey, Louisiana. It's time to volunteer for Keep Louisiana Beautiful's annual Love the Boot Week, the state's largest litter cleanup and beautification event. Every effort, large or small, creates a lasting impact. So let's join the movement to make Louisiana a cleaner and greener place to call home. Love the Boot Week takes place April 5th through 13th. Sign up to volunteer or organize an event at lovetheboot.org. Brought to you by the Office of the Lieutenant Governor and Keep Louisiana Beautiful.
To take part in the show, call 442-8255. That's 442-TALK 970 AM, 104.9 FM, KSYL. Now back to Talk Back.
Welcome back to Talk Back. What a great show we've had so far this morning already. Lieutenant Governor Billy Nungesser joined us just a little bit ago talking about all things that he's involved with. And as promised, we have on the phone line with us right now, Barry McCain, a Rapides Parish Sheriff's Office employee who works as the community officer up in Ward 10. And Barry, you guys have a big event taking place tonight at Tioga High School. How are you doing this morning?
Oh, I'm doing great. How are you and Trish doing this morning? First, before let me get a little business out of the way before we get into that. I just wanted to thank y'all and congratulate you on the great show that you have. There's many of us out there, 95% of us, that never call in unless I have something like this. Because I figure there are people that's much smarter and more eloquent than me, so I'll let them do the talking and I do the listening. But it is refreshing. It is very refreshing to ride around. I do a lot of patrolling in our area, and my radio stays on KSYL 95% of the time, and y'all allow the people to state their views and anything you want to say without interruption, and I, for one, appreciate it, and I think our citizens of Rapides Parish really appreciate it also.
Well, that's very gratifying, and you just earned yourself a ticket to another opportunity to be on the show, and you can double dip whenever you want to.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, you know, I do have a background in sales way back when, so you always start out with the positive, then you get into the other stuff.
I'll talk to you about real estate later on. There we go.
Well, I thought about that in my retirement, but probably my sister does it, so I guess it's in the genes.
Right. Yep.
Well, you buttered us up. Now tell us, go in for the Ward 10 meeting tonight.
I got you. A few years ago, I asked the sheriff if I could start some community meetings out in Ward 10 because we didn't have anything going on at that time. So they have been a very successful. And once I tried to do it in the fall and the spring. Now, as we know, today is the first day of spring, so there's not a better way to kick it off than to get our friends and neighbors of Ward 10 and the surrounding community together and have a good meeting. Now, we have some great information. I have some handouts that we're going to give out having to do with these scams. I know we all hear about the scams going around. There's 10 or 15 of them. Well, the sheriff has put together a brochure with a lot of good information on that, and it covers every one of them, what to do, what not to do. And so we're going to be handing them out. We always have a range of great speakers. Of course, Sheriff Wood, District Attorney Carroll, our great State Representative Mike Johnson will be there. He's going to be a little bit late, he said, because he's coming from Baton Rouge. I have one of your guys over there, Judge Hayes, is going to be speaking to us, giving us information on the small claims court. So I always try to find something that the people may not have a lot of information on and portray that to them. So we have a good time. We're going to feed you. In fact, at probably about 12, I'm going to start cooking. So we will feed everybody that comes through. So you get a free meal. That's worth it right there if you get the meal and leave.
That's right. So it starts at 6 o'clock tonight, right? Is
6 o'clock.
That's at the Tioga High School cafeteria.
That is correct. The Principal Harrington has been very good about letting us use that facility, and it works out great. So we try to work hand in hand with our schools and our people in that area. So it's been a blessing to us. It really has. So, but I want to invite everyone to come out. And if you haven't met our elected officials, there'll be a wide range of them there. There'll be a bunch of them there. They usually show up. You know how politicians are. They like to be around people.
That's going to be my question, though, too. I mean, this sounds terrific. You can come even if that is not your ward area.
You know what? I won't be at the door checking ID. If you want to come partake, come partake.
So if it says ward on your ID, it's still okay to come on in, huh?
Yeah, I don't care. Nobody. You know, the way I look at it, the more the merrier.
Right.
So we will have a good time. Everyone can come if they would like.
I don't know how many community officers are there out there in the sheriff's office.
I think I was trying to figure that out the other day. I think we have 8. And these programs have actually took off, and every one of our resident deputies, that's a program that Sheriff Wood started, which has been amazing for our parish. And every one of these guys have stepped up, and they're having these meetings now, and it's been very, very good for our parish. The people love them. They're able to ask questions that, I mean, there's stuff that you might want to ask, but you know what? I'm not going to call the sheriff's department. But you know, there or the DA or State Representative Johnson is going to tell us what's going on in the legislature, what's going on with the insurance, and you know, we just try to expand. I used to be basically law enforcement oriented, but now kind of expanded. Let's just cover anything in our area that would affect it. So it's been a good success. I really look forward to it. This is kind of like the highlight of my year, the 2 highlights of my year, because I get to see all my friends and neighbors that I haven't saw in a while, and it's almost like a little social club.
Right. It really is. And you've done a great job of promoting that and Ward 10 in general. You have a Facebook presence, a very strong Facebook presence. You're always promoting things in the community, getting people to talk with each other, and helping understand that law enforcement certainly is your friend and is somebody that you can depend upon. How did you come about doing that Facebook thing? I mean, have you been surprised by the growth?
Well, when I started out, when I decided to do these meetings, I had a friend of mine. He's passed now, Jason Bromfield. He was a sergeant. He was going to help me. And we talked about it and said, if we're going to promote, we're going to do this. We need everything's social media now. I mean, you pretty well got to know that if you're going to do anything. So we got on social media, and I found that it is an excellent. It can be a curse. It is an excellent tool for good things if you use it for good things. And I do have a decent following, and that's the easiest. Now I can go around and hang up little papers on all the gas stations and call people, but the best way to get them out is put it on social media, and then you're touching thousands in a little bit of time. So I try to utilize that for the good of Ward 10.
So the Facebook group or page, I think, yes, it's a group called Ward 10 Tioga Community Watch is the one I was thinking of that you run. And then, of course, you have the Ward 10 meeting event, and you just do a great job of promoting that. Barry, did you have a question? Oh, we have a call. Hey, let's see if we can take this call and conference them in with you. If I can find the right button. Here we go. Good morning. You're on Talkback with Barry McCain with the Sheriff's Office.
Well, this is Mayor Gail Wilking. Hello.
Our callers are nice and early today, Nate.
Well, we're excited. We're going to have Mayor Wilking on as our guest after the 8 o'clock news. And so she took a head start. I will break the news to you, Barry, that Mayor Wilking is not able to be with you tonight because she's hosting a small town mayor's conference. And so I don't know if she had RSVP'd or not, but I have to break the news that she's going to be double booked tonight.
Well, as a matter of fact, I've been texting with the mayor all morning, so we're pretty well on the same page on that. I know she's got a great event. I wish I could attend her event, but it just so happened that we ended up on the same time frame. But yeah, she supports us, we support them. So, but yeah, I'm just feel blessed to be in the middle of greatness here. You got Billy Nungesser and then the mayor. I don't know how I nestled up in the middle of that, but I kind of like that.
That's right.
We made you the hamburger and the sandwich over here with the great again, bread.
Before the music times us out here, a reminder. So tonight, 6 p.m., come to the Tioga High School cafeteria for the meeting. Everybody is welcome, correct? And
that is correct. They will get fed.
Perfect. Well, it is this is a terrific thing because it's about just letting the citizens know what's going on and having a great forum for them to ask questions. So thank you for what you do out there.
Thank you. That's the goal, and y'all continue the greatness that y'all doing every morning.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Barry McCain with the Rapides Parish Sheriff's Office has been our guest this morning. And as you heard just a moment ago, a preview, we're going to have Mayor Gail Wilking of Ball talking about a few things taking place in Ball this weekend. She's got something that she might want you to be a part of, and you will not want to miss, especially if you like moon pies. So come back after 8 o'clock with Mayor Gail Wilking right here on Talkback on Thursday morning on KSYL.
You've been listening to Talkback. The opinions expressed were those of the hosts and callers, and not necessarily those of Cenlaw Broadcasting. FM 104.9, AM 970, KSYL, and KRRV 100.3 HD3, Alexandria. It's 8 o'clock. This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm Stacey Lynn in Washington, where the president is expected to sign an executive order today to try to shut down the Department of Education. CBS's Weijia Zhang is at the White House.
A senior administration official says the order does not impact student loans or Title I, a program that helps students from low-income families. It also doesn't impact the law that ensures special education and services for students with disabilities. Earlier this month, the Trump administration cut nearly half of the Education's department staff, but it would take an act of Congress to formally close it.
We are following breaking news out of Troy, Michigan. Police have confirmed on social media a shooting at a local hospital. They did not say if there were any fatalities. They believe it was an isolated incident, but the suspect is not in custody and the hospital remains on lockdown. In Gaza, at least 85 Palestinians were killed in strikes by Israel as it tries to force Hamas to surrender. Ayala Metzger's father-in-law was taken hostage October 7th. She's angry that Israel has renewed its attacks.
There is people dying, a lot of people dying, and there are hostages still waiting to release.
Now to the latest plans to try to end the Russia-Ukraine war.
I'm Vicki Barker in London, where top military leaders from about 20 countries are meeting today to assess who can contribute what to a peacekeeping force for Ukraine and whether that force would be prepared to engage with Russian troops should Moscow violate any peace deal. The Brits are making it clear there'd need to be some kind of commitment from the U.S. For his part, Russian President Putin's violently opposed to seeing European boots on the ground in Ukraine.
Monster storms hit the Midwest. In Indiana, strong winds, hail, and tornadoes caused a whole lot of damage. The roof of a roller skating rink outside Indianapolis was ripped off. Jerry Williams is the owner.
We're just standing in the office in there watching, and then the next thing you know, sheets of plywood were shooting across the parking lot. So we just got on the microphone, told everybody we needed them to head to the bathroom.
Hundreds of flights were canceled or delayed because of the weather. For the 8th year in a row, this country is the happiest in the world.
Finland, again, tops the World Happiness Report ranking, and that's because the Finns seem to rate the quality of their lives relatively high.
That is the report's author, Jan Emanuel Deneve. Denmark, Iceland, Norway, and Sweden also made the top 10. Sadly, the U.S. didn't fare so well at number 24 on the list. Well, Wall Street is open for business, the Dow up 383 points. This is CBS News.
A riddle brought to you by Progressive Insurance. What do your home and auto have in common? Progressive protects them both. It was an easy riddle. Learn more at progressive.com.
You know, a lot of times you have to choose between something high quality or something that saves you money. But what if you could get both? Why not? Especially when it comes to healthcare, and that is MediShare. You get both. Many families save $500 a month with MediShare, and that's huge, but it's also true that people wind up way more satisfied, too. And we know this from research of members. There's a lot they like about MediShare, but especially they love being part of something they believe in. And MediShare works, too. It has for more than 30 years. There are hundreds of thousands of members who love having telehealth if they need it. They love the huge PPO network. So, yeah, really, you can save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care. So if you're self-employed or you're part of the gig economy or you just want a plan you're happy with, you can call right now and get a price in 2 minutes. Here's the number. Call 877-26-BIBLE. That's 877-26-BIBLE. 877-26-BIBLE.
Louisiana Radio Network, I'm Jeff Palermo. Baton Rouge police continue to look for the person responsible for fatally shooting an employee of Our Lady of the Lake in a parking lot across the street from the hospital. Authorities say the gunman waited for the victim to get off of work to shoot her in what's described as a domestic incident. President of Our Lady of the Lake, Chuck Spicer, is heartbroken by this terrible act of violence.
Thanks to the first responders, our security team that acted quickly, give us some time to heal and grieve.
A case of chronic wasting disease has been confirmed in a hunter-harvested white-tailed buck in Catahoula Parish. This is the first confirmed case outside of Tensas Parish since CWD was first detected in Louisiana in 2022. LDWF Deer Wildlife Manager Jonathan Bordelon says this brings the state's total CWD detection to 36.
That animal, while it showed no symptoms of the disease, it was confirmed positive by the National Veterinary Services Laboratory.
LRN.
The value of experienced leadership cannot be overstated in the Clerk of Court's office. Progressing through the ranks, Karen Corley is the most qualified to be the next Clerk of Court for Rapides Parish.
With 37 years of service, I am dedicated to safeguarding our elections, keeping crucial evidence safe, and streamlining access to public documents both online and in person. I'd be honored to have your vote.
Let's keep what's clearly working. Karen Corley, our Clerk of Court.
Paid for by Karen Corley for Clerk of Court.
Good morning. What a difference a day makes. Yesterday we hit 80 degrees. Today we'll be lucky if we hit 66. Sunny skies, though. Rather windy. Winds out of the northwest, 10 to 20. Tonight now, we're going to watch out for this. If you planted your tomatoes or anything, you could have some problems. Cover them up tonight. Clear skies down to 35. Could have a frost when you get up on Friday. And looking at sunshine on Friday, the afternoon high 71. From the Sedlaw Broadcasting Weather Center, that's your forecast. I'm Dave Gratian. Currently 46 degrees in Sedlaw.
Talkback is sponsored by The Clinics. With 27 providers and 3 locations, someone can see you today.
It's Talkback, Central Louisiana's longest-running talk show. Whether it's the guests or the callers, Talkback is where Central Louisiana begins its conversation.
And good morning. Welcome back to Talkback on Thursday. Trish Lilla, Nathan Martin here with you on this beautiful first day of spring. And what a wonderful day it is in the town of Ball. We're delighted to have Mayor Gail Wilking joining us this morning. Mayor Wilking, how are you?
Excited.
Excited?
There's no other word. Excited. Nervous.
Well, I don't know you to be nervous about very much, to be honest with you. You can handle anything that's thrown your way, but I think I understand why you're a little nervous, because you have a big event on Saturday. But before that, you're hosting something that for the Louisiana Municipal Association that's never taken place before. That's the, what is that called? The Small Towns Mayors Alliance?
Small Towns Mayors Alliance Conference.
Wow.
This is the brainchild of Mayor Ray Bork. He's our LMA first vice president. He will be LMA president in this term in June. He is the mayor of Broussard, and he is instrumental in putting together the Mid-City Conference. And, you know, they kind of adopted me in the Mid-City for various reasons I won't go into, but it has to do with my loud mouth. Fighting battles at Rouge. But be that as it may, I have learned so much from mid-cities. And so Ray decided that it may be a very worthwhile project to start up a small town alliance. And I'm telling you, we have had response beyond belief. Places that I didn't even know existed. Mostly, you know, Nathan, that most of these small towns do not come to anything that LMA has. The cost being away from their town for several days, it's just not feasible for them to do. And of course, that being said, their town clerks don't attend any of their classes, continuing education either. So I'm taking this opportunity with Ray's guidance and permission to put this on and kind of give special attention to town clerks. They're going to have a round table, and it's like I told all of them, they don't pay anything to come. There's no fee for the clerks to come, and a very minimal for anything else. But Veronica Arsenault, she's the Lafayette Clerk of the Council and president of the Clerks Association. She's going to conduct the roundtable. And I know you have seen Veronica, and she is magnificent. Absolutely. The clerks definitely have a one-on-one time. There's no question too silly, or as we put, this is a stupid question. There is no such thing. These clerks, most of them women, of course, but this is their opportunity to meet one another, to share information, and to learn.
Well, that's an exciting opportunity that you're offering to these small towns. A lot of people may not realize that there are over 300 municipalities in the state of Louisiana, and the vast majority of them are towns and villages. Town is a population less than 5,000. I think a village is a population less than 1,000. Is that right, Mayor?
That's correct.
And so, as you mentioned, the Louisiana Municipal Association has their annual conference every year. It moves around to the big cities, you know, the Shreveport, Monroe, Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Lafayette, Lake Charles, Alexandria. But some of these smaller municipalities struggle with even the finances of sending someone to a convention like this. And so you're offering these resources, and the LMA is supporting you in bringing in, I see that you've got the president's going to be there, Rick Allen from Leesville. You've got the executive director, Barney Arsenault, is going to be there, and some of the other supportive services from the LMA will be there to give an education to these small town mayors and clerks. And you're saying that it doesn't cost them anything?
It's $100 for the mayor to come, but the clerks cost nothing.
That's wonderful.
And usually the fee is a little bit more than that, but I have been so blessed that we have had wonderful sponsors, and we've got it all covered, all of it.
Well, I know also that you're doing something that the big conference often does, and that's providing a spouses tour during the conference for those who may not be interested in the nuts and bolts of how to run a municipality. And that's going to take place You're giving them a little breakfast, and then you're going to take them throughout the day, tour in the community, and then they get to do a painting. Now, I can't imagine if they're going to paint something, what they might be painting.
Well, Miss Emily Copeland, who is an artist that conducts these paint classes, and it's going to be at Genghis, the Genghis Mongolian Grill and Sushi Bar. It's awesome. It's an awesome place. And they're going to have their lunch, and as a surprise, they're going to have a paint class with Miss Emily. And Miss Emily asked me, Miss Bell, just what kind of Louisiana theme do you want to have them paint? And I said, I absolutely, that's the question of what it would be, a Louisiana moon pie. She just kind of taken aback and said, excuse me? I said, a moon pie. And how about putting a flying pig in it? She said, well, that's a little bit different, but I think I can come up with something. And she did. She came up with 2 sketches, and she's going to give them the choice of which they'd like to do. And then after the ladies get the surprise of, we are going to put them on display at the festival. At the conference, not at the festival. The 2, I'm so intermingled with both of them, they kind of all become one. But it's going to be an awesome surprise for them. Where else are you going to go and take a moon pie? Football.
You said, and now I got to say something. You said a Louisiana moon pie. Is there something different about Louisiana moon pie than any other moon pie?
Well, absolutely. They come from Ball.
They what?
They come from Ball.
They come from Ball. Well, actually, I was trying to key you up for a possibility of a piece of legislation. I've heard you're trying to get some sponsorship and support for.
I have those in my notes. You're not going to get fired with me, and not speaking about that. Although a lot of people think that might be silly, but there are no more moon pies grown in any state bigger than the amount Louisiana grows. So it's not only the town of Ball that wants it recognized. Now people are on board contacting me and saying, this is great. New Orleans plays tons of moon pies. We involve those tons of moon pies as well, but not quite to that level. And every parade does. Now, friends in Crowley, because of the Moon Pie Festival, now throw moon pies on their city float.
Really? That's fascinating.
Mayor Monso, after he came to the moon pie, he said, you know what I'm throwing from now on? I'm going to buy every moon pie Walmart has. And that's what he's doing. And he does.
I got a feeling the next time you go to Chattanooga, Tennessee, they're going to give you the key to the city or at least a private deluxe tour of the Moon Pie Factory. Are they made in Chattanooga?
Yes, they're made in Chattanooga, Tennessee. It's the same family that's made them since 1917. It's in the same bakery.
Fascinating. Well, before we're going to talk about the Moon Pie Festival, but before we do, because I want to make sure we finish up well with the Small Town Mayors Alliance Conference. Is there anything else about that you wanted to share with our folks?
I just want people to understand how important this is to mayors and clerks and people who come for continuing education. Small things like LGAP grants. These mayors don't know about this.
Mm-hmm.
So I had someone coming from the LGAP group to talk about how easy it is to do that. I mean, it's only $35,000, but the max you can get. You don't always get that. Sometimes they just divide it among those that applied. But it's little things like that that help a municipality be able to survive and get smaller things that, are not quite as important to spend your town money on. But you get this as kind of like a little lanyard, and it's very, very helpful. So I want them to know all the little things that they can use. And it's important. It's very important. And I have had so many calls from these mayors. I mean, Pearl River, where is that? We have the local guys that are all coming. But Simpson, Passmore, of all places, Passmore's mayor's coming. I don't know that mayor, but he's quite a card. He's a thing. And of course, that's my mother's maiden name, so that's kind of special. But yeah, it's an awesome day. I'm so proud that LMA is being so active in this conference. It's a big thing to have Mr. Bernie Arsenault and Rick Allen and Ray Bork here in person to help me promote this. I couldn't do it without them.
Certainly is important to have the support of the Louisiana Municipal Association, and I commend you all. Mayor Bork, as you said, it was his brainchild, but I served on that board for 8 years, and I'm very familiar with the inner workings. I know their heart to serve the municipalities, but to recognize that many of the municipalities may not be able to take advantage of the resources they offer at the annual conventions, and to bring it to the central part of the state where people can get to, fairly easily from anywhere in the states. You're only two hours away, maybe 3 hours from the toe of the boot. But thank you so much for hosting that and making that available for them.
Well, you're very welcome. And I hope I know you can't come to the dinner. Tom David is sponsoring the dinner. It's being catered by Ovido, and that's quite a treat for everybody. But I wonder, we have 30 municipalities that have registered.
Wonderful. Well, that's absolutely great.
That's Central Louisiana. LMA, Mr. Ray, Mayor Ray, divided the state into three: North, South, Central. And I have the Central District. We have 45 that have actually registered, and probably 10 more that have called and said they're coming without registering. And I said, come on.
Come on. Well, that's great.
Get ready for them. And I want to.
We need to take a little break.
Okay, great.
Because I want to transition to the ball excitement that's taking place on Saturday and other things that's going on. But let's take this break, and we'll come right back with more from Mayor Gail Wilking of Ball.
Talkback is sponsored by The Clinics with 27 providers and 3 locations. Someone can see you today. Stick around. More of Talkback is on the way.
This is Dr. Jonathan Hunter with The Clinics, where we pride ourselves in providing exceptional care. We offer a wide range of services, including primary care, family and chronic care, acute and urgent care, podiatry, and gastroenterology, along with an on-site lab and x-ray. Our new family medicine physician, Dr. Noah Miller, is accepting new patients. Same-day appointments are available, and most insurance and Medicare are accepted. The Clinics, 1587 North Bolton, 445-9823. Online at theclinics.us.
When the heat and humidity hit central Louisiana, keep the fun sizzling while staying cool. Bounce into excitement at our indoor trampoline park and play centers. Cool off at local area arcades or immerse yourself in creativity at downtown art and children's museums. Beat the heat and savor the flavors at our local restaurants. Your taste buds will thank you. Strike up some fun. Hit the lanes for some cool bowling adventure. Visit explorelouisiana.com to plan your trip today. And for more cool ideas, go to AlexandriaPinevilleLA.com.
We're Cenla Broadcasting, local radio, doing local public service.
Decades ago, Father Gerard Foley and the congregation at St. Francis Cabrini Church volunteered to help feed our needy. They started Manna House, a nonprofit soup kitchen on Lee Street, and within months, they were feeding almost 400 people a day. And now, more than 3 million meals later, Manna House still relies on volunteers and donations to keep their ministry going. Learn how you can help at GiveToMannaHouse.com.
This has been a public service reminder from Cenla Broadcasting.
Now. We tend not to think about now. We dream about tomorrow, relive yesterday. But right now in front of us is victory over cancer. Right now, cancer research funded by the V Foundation is leading to better treatments and saving lives. Victory over cancer is there for the taking by you, because today's cancer research is tomorrow's victory. Learn more at v.org.
Don't give up. Don't ever give up.
Retirement can be scary, but only if you're not prepared.
That's why AARP created thisispretirement.org. Because unless you've already retired, you're in pretirement and you still have time to plan. Learn about retirement savings options, potential tax breaks, and how you can build savings over time. Visit thisispretirement.org for free resources to help you customize your action plan and feel the retirement fear disappear. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
If you'd like to take part in the show today, call the BOM Bank Talk line at 442-8255. That's 442-TALK. And remember, if you're looking to purchase or refinance your home, call Christina Bagwell at the BOM Bank Mortgage Department at 448-2430.
To take part in the show, call 442-8255. That's 442-TALK, 970 AM, 104.9 FM, KSYL. Now back to Talk Back.
Welcome back to Talk Back on Thursday with Trish Lala and Nathan Martin, and we're joined on the phone by Mayor Gail Wilking of Ball, where it's raining moon pies, or it will be on Saturday. Mayor Wilking, let's see here. Mayor Wilking, do we have you?
Yes, you do.
There we go.
Yes.
Now we got you. Push the right buttons. All right, so a little bitty small thing is happening in Ball on Saturday, a little festival that you woke up a couple of years ago in the middle of the night with a dream, and it's become a reality. The Moon Pie Festival. Tell us about it.
It is amazing, and it was a gift from God because, as you guys know, I'm competitive and jealous, and all of my friends who are mayors have festivals. And I was a little upset that I didn't. So I kept asking Jesus to give me a festival, Well, it all came about at a Mardi Gras parade. There was a young man on a bicycle that rode up very full with Bond Automotive, always furnishes me with two of the most beautiful trucks they have on their lot, for the Grand Marshal and for the First Duty Night. And this little boy was so impressed with that truck. And he turned to me and said, Mayor, would you tell me a moon pie? And I said, you don't want a stuffed animal? You don't want these big beans? No, a moon pie. And I picked up the moon pie, and God spoke to me and said, there's your festival. So that's how this all got started. And from that minute, that day, that moment, it now became a Moon Pie Festival. And we ran with it from there.
Well, it starts this Saturday at 10 o'clock with your opening ceremony. Everything is going to take place right there in front of Ball Municipal Building. Is that right?
Yes, sir. Absolutely. We have a great lineup for our opening ceremony. We have a lot of things going on. You know, we have a cooking contest, and it has to be an original moon pie recipe. You have to use moon pies in it. And we had one lady call yesterday or the day before, wanted to know if she could enter more than one. Well, nobody ever asked that before. But then again, we've only had one festival. So we said, okay, sure, that'll be okay. But the judges last year were very heartbroken when everybody didn't get a prize because they said the little ladies kept looking at them with these big eyes and, you know, choose me thing. And when they didn't win, they saw the disappointment. So they suggested we give everybody a ribbon this year. So we will. And everybody will be happy. But they come up with some great recipes. It's absolutely divine. But we're having to have a tutorial for our judges. You don't eat a plate full. You eat a taste. They made that mistake and all got sick last year.
I learned that lesson when my first time I ever judged a chili cook-off. And yeah, just one bite from each bowl is all you need, because if they have 30 entries, you will be full when it's over.
Right. We did.
Sure did.
Something else. And one of the judges, I won't mention his name, because y'all probably know Stephen McCain.
I'm glad you didn't mention his name.
I wasn't going to mention his name. It just slipped. He resigned.
Resigned.
Now, did he become an MC?
Yes, he was last year as well.
Okay.
He is awesome. He and his wife Rachel, they make the opening. They make the whole festival with their comments and their back and forth with one another, and they're awesome. But if he wasn't our auditor, he could go out and hire out for being an MC professional.
That's
it was
great.
a great job.
So tell me about this barn day session that you're having at the Thompson Farms.
Miss Sharon Thompson is an amazing lady, and she has what we call the barn, and she has Appaloosa horses. She has goats, miniature goats, big goats. She has a Jersey cow, and it's beautiful. And it has calves sometimes. It's a working barn. It's awesome. And this is for these children. There's a lot of adults go too, because she has carriages with little horses that pull the children around. She teaches them things about planning and how you take a seed and the process through which it grows to make the plant. But it's packed. It absolutely is packed. And there's a lot of touching and riding animals, and she's such a great person, and she loves these kids.
That is great. We've only got about a minute, so we know you're going to have Hunter Corville and Cajun Fever playing in the afternoon, and then that night you'll have Avery Michaels for your street dance at 5 o'clock. 4 o'clock, you got your queens that are going to be there. The eating contest. Oh my goodness, 50 queens. That's wonderful.
Yes, it is wonderful, and we have a special queen to preside over all of the ceremonies that we have from now to the end of next year.
So I'm assuming last year's queen's going to be in attendance, right?
That would be me, yes.
That's you, right?
I will be. Yeah. I'm just going to wear my crown as well.
You're giving away your crown.
And I do want to say we have a special little presentation that I'm going to make to someone very, very special to me, who was the true moon pie king.
That's wonderful.
So you guys will all know him, but anyway, we're gonna do that. It's gonna be a fun-packed family day, and I'm looking forward to having more elected officials. Because I kind of set that up, having that conference and having all these elected officials to throw over, because Billy Nungesser gave us 300 pounds of crawfish for Friday night. So that was a bribe for me. I could make this day, eat crawfish, and spend the night. And there you are, the festival.
Well, we have run out of time, but Mayor Wilking, thank you so much for giving us your time this morning and helping us know where we need to be on Saturday, starting at 10 o'clock and all day long at the Ball Moon Pie Festival.
And let me close with this. Moon pies. We got them. You want them? Come get them.
Mayor Gail Wilking of Ball, y'all see her there on Saturday. We'll be right back after this with Pafford EMS.
Talkback is sponsored by The Clinics with 27 providers and 3 locations. Someone can see you today. Stick around. More of Talkback is on the way.
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. Stocks rallied yesterday after Federal Reserve Chair Jay Powell downplayed growth concerns and the impact of President Donald Trump's policies on inflation. But this morning, it looks like investors are having some second thoughts. The futures are pointing to a lower Wall Street open. Yesterday, the broader market rose about 1%. Fed Chair Jay Powell called the inflationary effect of tariffs transitory. The Fed's forecast still shows 2 rate cuts this year, and as expected, officials left interest rates steady yesterday. Amtrak CEO Stephen Gardner announced that he is leaving his job as the Trump administration threatens to pull back on funding mass transit and transportation projects. Amtrak is a for-profit company with several ties to the federal government. The company's board members are generally appointed by the president, with the transportation secretary taking one seat. The company has been the focus of lawmaker scrutiny for its spotty transit service. Gina Cervetti, Bloomberg Radio.
Dentures. Can't live with them, and you definitely can't live without them. But what if I told you there's a better way? Today's Dental in Pineville is here to revolutionize your smile. Say goodbye to old-fashioned adhesives and endless appointments. They've made getting implants incredibly simple, low anxiety, and affordable for everyone. Picture this: in-office IV sedation administered by a highly skilled certified nurse anesthetist, making the procedure low anxiety and stress-free. And the best part? Their multiple finance options make implants truly affordable. Don't wait. If you're ready to replace those old-timey dentures with permanent implants, call Today's Dental on Highway 28 East in Pineville at 448-4540. It's a general dental facility owned by Dr. Jonas Goche. That's 448-4540. Your perfect smile is just a call away. Today's Dental, because you deserve the best.
ZipRecruiter is the place. ZipRecruiter is the place for talented teachers, savvy software developers, and master mixologists. ZipRecruiter is the place where you meet all these people and more. That's because ZipRecruiter is the place for job seekers who are looking for new opportunities. In fact, ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day, so you can find the right candidates right away. It's no wonder that ZipRecruiter is the place for skilled skydiving instructors, accomplished airbrush artists, and proficient pediatricians. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter to hire, you're missing out. ZipRecruiter is the place that's so confident it can make your hiring easier that it lets you try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. So if you want the right candidates for all your roles, ZipRecruiter is the place to go. Try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Well, good morning. What a difference a day makes. Yesterday we hit 80 degrees. Today we'll be lucky if we hit 66. Sunny skies, though. Rather windy. Winds out of the northwest at 10 to 20. Tonight now, we're going to watch out for this. If you planted your tomatoes or anything, you could have some problems. Cover them up tonight. Clear skies down to 35. Could have a frost when you get up on Friday. And looking at sunshine on Friday, the afternoon high 71. From the Sedlaw Broadcasting Weather Center, that's your forecast. I'm Dave Gratian. Currently 46 degrees in Sedlaw.
970 AM, 104.9 FM. KSYL. To take part in the show, call 442-8255. That's 442-TALK back.
Good morning and welcome back to Thursday's Talk Back with Trish LaLove and Nathan Martin in the studio this morning. We're excited to bring to you Stephen Sutton, the PIO, I think the Public Information Officer for Pafford EMS. Sorry about that, Pafford EMS. And we were surprised this morning to have an actual Pafford in the studio with us, Alex Pafford. So good morning, gentlemen, and welcome.
Good morning, and so great to be on the show this morning. And we're looking forward to being with you. Thank you so much.
We appreciate you taking the time to come down and introduce the community to Pafford to kind of set the stage this morning. A lot of people will be aware that a year ago, then President Joe Bishop of the police jury established an ambulance committee to look into making a recommendation. I think the 5-year contract was coming up for renewal with the current sole provider. And the question was, I think it was a twofold question. Number one, do we remain with a sole provider contract? And number two, which sole provider should be entered into the contract? And so the committee came back with the recommendation of a sole provider, and their recommendation was Pafford EMS. And most of us went, who's Pafford? We didn't know, you don't really have a presence in central Louisiana. You're strong in North Louisiana, as I understand it, Ruston and the North Louisiana I-20 corridor, and of course, Oklahoma, Mississippi, Arkansas, and maybe other places you can tell us about. But we didn't know who you were. And then, of course, they've extended the time frame, and there's discussion about that. They'll make a recommendation within the next 40 days, as I understand it, a final vote on that. But you guys have come in to help us know who Pafford EMS is and why you would be excited to come into the Central Louisiana market. So who do we start with? Alex, you're Pafford, so we got to start with Alex.
I would love to introduce our organization to the folks of Rapides Parish. My grandfather and grandmother started Pafford EMS in 1967 in Magnolia, Arkansas with a single ambulance. And every year we just tried to make it to December, seeing what we could do and providing care. And the story really spread. And people said, you solve ambulance problems. And we really kind of took it as a part of our character to see how we can improve the level of care provided. And over the past, really the foundation of the ambulance industry, we've continued to grow, slow growth, the proper way to make sure that every community gets kind of this personal touch. They're a part of our family. And we go into communities very, very rarely, but whenever we do, we love to stay. In the state of Louisiana, we've never contracted with a municipality and gone back on our contract and went with another provider. The recommendation by the Rapides Parish Police Jury has been just so humbling for our organization. In last year, we took over Gulfport and Biloxi, Mississippi, as well as Hancock County, Mississippi, through a similar RFP process. And that is added almost 170 full-time employees across the board there.
Wow. So I mentioned North Louisiana, Oklahoma, Arkansas, and Mississippi. Are you in other states? Did I see a Tennessee in there, or did I imagine that?
We're currently not in the Tennessee market. We've had some kind of boutique solutions for a short time. Pafford Medical Services provided care to the United States Virgin Islands following the hurricane, kind of a restorative process, and also staffed the hospital for specialty care needs.
So for those of us in Central Louisiana that really, we had never heard of Pafford before, outside of those on the committee, right. When I go and look and I see from the 1960s and the single family that, husband and wife that turned it over to their sons, I believe James is the current CEO. I was trying to look back and see. Jamie, Greg, and John are the children of the original founders, James and Carol Pafford, and you're a grandson, so it's still a family-run organization.
Yes, sir. I serve as the Director of Operations for Pafford EMS of Louisiana. There's 4 organizations, so Oklahoma, Arkansas are ran by Jamie. Jamie and Ben was Jamie's husband, and then John and Greg run Louisiana and Mississippi.
Okay. And so what is it like to go into a new market and try to sell yourself to whether it's a parish or a county or a municipality? What kind of process do you have to go through, Stephen?
So they generally send out an RFP, or they let us know what they're looking for in an ambulance service provider, and then we review that RFP and decide, do we want to put in a proposal and respond to that? And so in Rapides Parish, we chose to do that. And so we put together a proposal, presented it to the ambulance committee, and we received the most points in that proposal, which is humbling, and it speaks for the quality of care that Pafford has known since 1907. The quality of care it provides is just unsurpassed. The training with the staff, the critical care equipment on every ambulance, quality begins with appropriately trained staff and an equipped ambulance with all of the latest tools and medications that are necessary to save lives, and then being able to respond in a timely manner. Mm-hmm. And so we go through that process. There's pre-bid conferences where everybody's kind of on the same page, and then you submit a proposal, and those proposals are evaluated. And then in this particular case, on the 10th, the police jury, those proposals went to the police jury. The police jury sent that back out for some more questions, and so those questions are due this week, and we're answering those questions and cooperating and looking forward. We're ready to go in Rapides Parish. 23 new ambulances, a helicopter ready to go. And so we're looking forward to serving the citizens here and really bringing that high quality, compassionate, family style healthcare. We sometimes say, I was visiting with Taylor a minute ago, I sometimes say that, we treat our patients like a member of our family. But then we add that qualifier, a member of the family that you like, So, when somebody says, well, treat them like their family, they say, well, my family doesn't treat me very well, a family member that you like. So we're off the red carpet for everyone. Wow. And regardless of the socioeconomic conditions, I was just speaking, one of my favorite things about Pafford is meeting the need. Where is the need? And whether it be Washington County, Mississippi, whether it be Madison and Rankin, whether it be the North Louisiana, and so we're looking forward to meeting the need here at Rapides. Well, we appreciate the conversation we're having this morning with Stephen Sutton and Alex Pafford. We're going to continue that conversation and take some phone calls at
8255 right after this.
Let's do it.
Talkback is sponsored by The Clinics with 27 providers and 3 locations. Someone can see you today. Stick around. More of Talkback is on the way.
Want quality water in your home? Get a whole house water filtration system installed by Southern Air Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, and say goodbye to contaminants like chlorine, sediments, heavy metals, and more. They'll also clear your drains, repair and replace pipes, and even do trenchless repair, replacing pipe underground without digging up the yard. Financing is available. Southern Air Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, 318-777-5555, or visit southernairnow.com for details.
With Fidelity Wealth Management, the dedicated advisor gets to know you and your goals to build a comprehensive plan to help grow and protect your wealth. Backed by a team of specialists, they'll analyze all your accounts, even the ones they don't manage, to keep an eye on taxes and provide proactive portfolio insights that can help you unlock your wealth full potential. Learn more at fidelity.com/wealth. Investment minimums apply. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC. Member NYSE SIPC.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Are you a victim of the timeshare trap and think there's no way out? I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, the original timeshare cancellation expert. And I'm here to tell you that there is a way out. All you need to do is give my office a call. I will send you a timeshare exit information kit absolutely free, explaining how the timeshare industry works and your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free info kit. Call 800-653-1188. 800-653-1188.
We're Sinlaw Broadcasting, local and proud of it, just like this group.
The Central Louisiana chapter of the American Red Cross is located on Bolton Avenue, right here in Alexandria. Their mission is to prevent human suffering in the face of emergencies by mobilizing the generosity of donors and the power of volunteers. And since volunteers are a big part of everything they do, they can use your help. Learn more online at redcross.org.
This has been a public service reminder from Sinlaw Broadcasting.
Got a passion for LSU football? Then tune your radio to KZMZ 96.9 Rocks for Tiger Talk. Every Monday evening, 4 to 6, Mark Smokey and T-Bone really deliver. Get behind-the-scenes info nobody else has with LSU experts Sonny and Mike. Win prizes each week with Tiger Talk trivia and 5 minutes of fury. Or call in and share your thoughts with fellow Tiger Talkers. Get in the game with Tiger Talk. Monday nights, 4 to 6, on the air at KZMZ 96.9 Rocks or on the app.
Do you have a drug problem? Do you want to stop? Well, there are folks who can help. Call Narcotics Anonymous at 1-585-DON'T-USE or visit their website at larna.org for more information.
To take part in the show, call 442-8255. That's 442-TALK 70 AM, 104.9 FM, KSYL. Now back to Talkback.
We welcome you back to Talk Back on this Thursday morning. Nathan Martin, Trish Love, being joined by Stephen Sutton and Alex Pafford from Pafford EMS. And we're going to go to the phone lines this morning. Good morning. You're on Talk Back with Stephen and Alex.
Good morning, gentlemen. Thank you for taking my call. I don't live in Rapides Parish, so I live a little further away. So I'm worried. I'm concerned about air assets. And I know if you move into a new area, you know, we've learned through this process that there's some requirements. But do you have people that you're bringing in from another area? Are you going to ramp up training? Are you going to train local people to work in this area? Do you already have the ambulances and the helicopter ready? Or are we going to have a process or a lag time before we have full coverage and full care?
Perfect question, Dave. You took my question for me there.
Sorry. I'll wait. I'll hang up listening to you. Thank you, sir, for taking my call.
Thank you for calling this morning.
Thank you. Yeah,
Oh,
I know, that was
great
exactly
question.
what I was
Yeah,
going to tee you up with. So thank you for that.
That's right. It's like somebody's listening in. That's exactly right. And so we're ready to serve the citizens of Rapides Parish. 23 new ambulances, a 407 helicopter ready to go. We anticipate staffing it in at the Pineville Airport. And so, you know, the rigorous training of the employees, we look forward to hiring all of the employees that are currently employed here. Their institutional knowledge about the parish and the talent and skill that they bring to the workforce, we're excited to offer all of them jobs and in some areas, many areas actually, you know, some of the employees report, hey, better benefits, better pay, and they like that family feel better. And so we look forward to engaging with them and letting them experience some of the Pafford quality that we've come to know and love. And so we're ready to go. We're ready to serve. We look forward to implementing, scholarships for EMT programs, as well as, onboarding and training and recruiting other providers as we increase the services that the citizens of Rapides Parish currently receives. And so that's going to require more manpower. It's going to require more ambulances to meet those time requirements. And so we're excited. We're ready to go. Those are great questions. I think she asked a couple questions. I think we got most of them there, but all of the people that work here are more than welcome to join the Pafford family. And so we'll be glad to have them.
Well, that's good. And a lot of people would be concerned about those existing employees who've lived in our community for many years, and to know that there is a job opportunity awaiting them. My understanding of the process, he mentioned helicopter. What does the RFP require? Like, is a helicopter part of that? How many fixed spaces in the parish as far as locations? What are the requirements, and what are you planning to bring?
So the requirements of the RFP first was a time contractual requirement. 8 minutes within within Pineville and Alexandria, 12 minutes within the surrounding area, and then 20 minutes within the parish 90% of the time. With our industry expertise, we make the establishment of where those stations are based on the demand. As time goes on, we do these recursive, very smart models that try and understand where the best placement is. But we would love to, integrate with the local fire departments. They've done these great studies to understand where's the best place to put these fire apparatus and have these firemen. Why not utilize some of those resources, some of that institutional knowledge? But answering the question, we look to have roughly 7 stations with a main hub. Those might be day posts for some period of time until we get to that 90-day to 120-day to make a definitive, this is where this station is best placed. We have a few that we know for sure, but as we integrate our system, we'll know better.
Okay, well, that's a great response and helping us understand. My understanding is that currently there's an EMS program in the public school system. I'm not sure if you've heard of that, but I know Tioga has it, and maybe a couple other high schools have these programs. And I honestly don't know if they work with the current provider or if it's something independent, but supposedly kids can graduate high school with a basic EMT and EMS certifications. Have y'all worked with anybody like that in any of your places in other states or Louisiana?
Yes. So we've often worked with local school systems. Acadian Ambulance does provide those systems in the local schools, and they do a great job. It's something that we would love to institute in the local community. There's a need. People enjoy it. We have the expertise and we have the instructors. We have the operational strategy to sit there and get people engaged that want to be EMS professionals and potentially a door into upper levels of healthcare.
All right. We need to take our last break of the hour. When we come back, we have another caller that's on the line. The time flies by in a hurry.
It does.
But we'll be back with more with Pafford EMS right here on KSYL.
Talkback is sponsored by The Clinics with 27 providers and 3 locations. Someone can see you today. Stick around. More of Talkback is on the way.
Louisiana's moving forward. Crime rates are tumbling. Education, our best test scores ever. Governor Landry announced the largest jobs and economic growth project in Louisiana history. 10+ billion private sector dollars. Now we keep Louisiana moving forward with a yes vote on Amendment 2, March 29th. Amendment 2 permanently lowers the maximum income tax rate. It pays down debt and gives our teachers a permanent salary increase. It keeps the homestead exemption and exemptions for religious organizations. Amendment 2 doubles the senior citizen tax deduction. And Amendment 2 builds on Governor Landry's efforts stopping unneeded spending with a permanent government growth limit. Let's keep Louisiana moving forward by voting yes on Amendment 2. Paid for by Make Louisiana Great Again.
Attention all real estate agents, property owners, and lenders. When you or a client needs a real estate attorney, call the professionals at Thompson Law Firm. Whether the legal matter is basic or complex, the Thompson Law Firm can accurately guide you or your client to a successful outcome. That's why numerous industry professionals have trusted the Thompson Law Firm for years. They also handle estate planning, successions, and business law. Call them at 473-0052. I am a paid non-client attorney spokesperson.
In Sinlaw, keeping your lawn looking great can be a real challenge. And that's why folks have been choosing our locally owned and operated company, Promo Fencing and Lawn Care. Promo can also be your local choice for fence installation and new landscape installs. They're real pros about it too, offering free estimates and financing for those bigger jobs, residential or commercial. Bring your vision to life with Promo Fencing and Lawn Care. Call 318-452-6265.
We're Sinlaw Broadcasting, local radio, doing local public service.
The Rapides Children's Advocacy Center serves as a spokesperson for children in abusive situations. The RCAC trains community volunteers to serve as court-appointed special advocates through their CASA program and offer trauma-focused cognitive behavioral therapy to help children subjected to emotional abuse. Find out how you can help at childrensadvocacy.net.
This has been a public service reminder from Sinlaw Broadcasting.
There's no better description than to say St. Jude is a place of hope. My name is Lindsay. I'm alive today because of this incredible hospital and the generosity of so many who wanted to support it.
Finding cures, saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
Now back to Talkback, 970 AM, 104.9 FM, KSYL.
Welcome back to Talkback on Thursday with Trish and Nathan. I think we should have had a whole hour with the Pafford folks because the time has flown by so quickly.
It really has.
We're excited to have Stephen and Alex from Pafford, and we have a call. We want to jump on that real quick, so let's go to the phone line. Good morning. You're on the air with Stephen and Alex from Pafford EMS.
Good morning. How are y'all doing today?
Doing great. How are you, sir?
Pretty good, pretty good. Hey, so I got a question. I know you had spoken about special medical equipment for critical care and stuff. What critical care equipment do you carry on your trucks, and are they specific to just certain trucks, or do all trucks carry this critical equipment?
Great question. Thank you, caller.
That is a great question. So the state of Louisiana, they have certain rules and regulations of minimum required equipment on ambulance. So not only do we have that minimum required equipment, but we exceed that. We have ventilators, CPR machines on every ambulance. I just call them CPR machines so the general public would understand, what they are. And so that mechanical CPR to ensure that you're receiving high quality chest compressions continuously to give our patients the best shot at being able to survive that sudden cardiac arrest event. And so we actually carry more equipment than what's required on every ambulance. On our helicopters, we carry blood. We've got a large cadre of critical care medications, hundreds of medications that we're able to provide. And so including, rapid sequence intubation, somebody's having a brain bleed or someone's been involved in a traumatic accident, they're going to survive, but they may need us to breathe for them for a little while because their brain swelling and they've got an injury. And so we're able to provide that to them. And so that's a great question. My background at Pafford, started as a flight paramedic on Air One. And so I'm very familiar with not only the quality of care that we provide. I was trained in critical care at Vanderbilt in Nashville, Tennessee, and board certified as a flight paramedic, board certified as a critical care paramedic, also a pediatric neonatal critical care transport paramedic. All of our employees on the air program are flight specialty certified, and ultrasound, blood, all of the things that we need to save lives on our helicopter, and then all that the state allows on our ground ambulances, plus some. And so that quality of care is what sets us apart. And it's the compassion, it's that family feel, it's knowing what you're doing in an emergency. When someone's in cardiac arrest, it's not the time to pull out your paramedic book, and try to figure it out. And so we have rigorous training, all the equipment that's needed, that's based on evidence to ensure that patient has the best chance at being able to live. That's a great question, probably from an EMS provider. And we look forward to working with you, and we'd love to visit with you.
That's great. Caller, thank you so much. The phone lines are lit up. Let's go back to our next call. Good morning. You're on the line with Alex Sutton and Alex Pafford and Stephen Sutton from Pafford EMS.
Good morning. I was just interested in the moon pie at Ball, and I'm disabled and I don't have a ride, and I would like to go. So I was calling to see if maybe the mayor could arrange for someone to pick me up to bring me to the moon pie.
This is small town radio at its best. If you will do me a favor, when we get out of the off the air, when the news starts playing, if you'll call me back, I will get you in touch with the mayor, okay?
Okay.
So
call you back after you get off the
I'm just going to put you on hold. I'm going to put you on hold, and then I'll help you after the show, okay?
All right. Thank you.
Well, you guys were just talking about compassionate care in our community.
That's it, right there.
You want to help bring that here? Yeah.
We're going to go to the Moon Pie Festival too.
I'm there.
We've got another call on the line. Caller, good morning. Welcome. You're on the air with Alex and Stephen from Pafford.
Good morning. I was just had a question about insurance. Do they take Medicare and Blue Cross and all the insurance?
Great question.
Absolutely. So we, as any ambulance service in the United States, we're licensed with Medicare and Medicaid. All private insurance is accepted and cash payment in the event that you have, none of the above. We have hardship accounts in the event that you have someone that potentially couldn't pay. It's just a qualified program that goes through our billing office.
Great.
And one other thing, just to add to that is, and I know the community will be concerned about this, so they'll be interested to know, we have a robust membership program at Pafford. $60, a year, $5 a month, and then that covers your out of pocket for any medically necessary transports. And so that's a big deal. We've had that membership program for a long time. It's very successful, and the community members here will be glad to know that we have that, honor that, and look forward to serving them with that.
And so I know we're about out of time here with you guys, which I wish we had an hour with you guys, but I think just because we are not used to you here in our community, you guys have done this, gone into new communities. This is not new to you. And I think any last words to our community as we look towards this?
I'll start and let Alex finish this up. We've done this over 30 times in Louisiana and Mississippi. This is nothing new. We're ready for the challenge. We're ready to serve the citizens. We're ready to bring you the EMS service that you deserve. And when your child is in cardiac arrest, it matters. It matters to us. And getting an ambulance there as quickly as possible with the appropriately trained staff, with all of the things that we need to give your child the best shot. We're all in.
The music is playing. You got about 20 seconds.
Thank you all so much. We look forward to working with the Rapides Parish Police Jury and the Ambulance Advisory Committee to get the best care possible for the citizens of Rapides Parish.
Thank you, Stephen Sutton, the Public Information Officer, and Alex Pafford, grandson of the founders and the Director of Louisiana Operations. Thank you both for being here on Talkback. Come back in tomorrow morning. It'll be Al and Sandra with a great week wrap-up right here on Talkback. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
You've been listening to Talkback.